Let's get started and start stretching. Place your hands against the wall. You can start low and then lean forward in towards the corner of the wall. Enjoy a stretch through the front of your shoulders and your chest and maybe your arms. And play with the height. So you can play with different angles, have the hands sit higher or maybe have them sit a little lower. And just ease into it at a pace that works for you. Now, let's get into the shoulders. Place a band underneath your feet and grab down quite low so that as you stand up, there's a strong pull of the hands and a strong tension in the band. Your shoulders should feel like they're being pulled down, and as we bring our shoulders up and then back down, there's some assistance and an added stretch as you lower your arms down. Stretching through the trapezius muscle, the top of the shoulder, leading into the neck, and getting some beautiful mobility work through the shoulder joint as we do our circles, through the shoulder blades, through the clavicles, your breastbone at the front, and this will flow on into the neck. So if you have neck tension or you feel a little stiff or tight through your neck and shoulders, and you can do a few in each direction. You can make the move as big or as little as you like. And you can also do this without a band as well. We're now going to commence to taking the band over the head. Stand with a nice wide stance and bring the band up and above the head and then behind the body. Take care with this one. Keep your head front and center. And stretch the band out wide as you go up, but also as you go behind. So pull the band wide and behind and reverse. If you cannot work full range, you just work the range where you can take your arms to. And here we're going to add an arching at the back. You're going to look up as you bring the band up and in front. And again, looking up. Work within the comfort range for yourself to extend the upper back. Reversing the rounded shoulders. And now we're going to get into some shoulder mobility work again. Lengthen your arms forward and then pull the shoulder blades back. Reach forward and back. You could do this standing. You could do this sitting at a chair. Good. And now we're going to go into 4-point kneeling. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And this is a different way to have a similar result. As you can see, we are sinking in between the shoulder blades, but the arms remain straight. You should feel like you sink the sternum or the breastbone towards the mat. And now let's find the floor, lying onto your side, pillow under your head. From here we're going to open up through the front of the shoulder. We're going to get some movement through the spine and through the rib cage in what we call the thoracic area. Starting with the bent elbow for safety, but opening and lengthening the arm on the diagonal. Breathe And if you can't get your arm on the diagonal, take it to a level where you feel that it's okay. Notice with the breath how the arm releases through the shoulder and the chest area, and then return it back in. You can add a variation by taking the arm to reach out of the shoulder above the head. Turn your head to look up towards the ceiling and rotate through the ribs, eyes looking at the hand as best as you can, and take a moment to enjoy the stretch on the angle, or maybe your hand sits a little lower in line with the shoulder. And then what we're going to do is bring the arm to lower down towards the hips and the feet, creating a full circular motion. The more your eyes look towards the hand, the better. The more movement you will hopefully get out of the ribs and your spine and through the stretch through the front of the shoulder and the arm. Repeat on the other side. Press the elbow back a little with the bent elbow. And remember to anchor your knees and your feet as best as you can to the floor. And breathe deeply in through the nose, out through the mouth. Give it some time. This would have to be one of my favourite stretches, as well as most of my clients. Let's stretch out of the shoulder, bring above the head again. Notice the head turns and you create a nice flow as you now turn and look towards the hand or your arm. Breathe deeply, enjoy. We're going to spend some time on this one. And go again. Beautiful. Let's now lie on our backs. Take the pillow away. Bring your arms to stretch up to the ceiling. And once again, we're going to loosen up through the shoulder blades, reaching the straight arm up and relaxing the shoulder blades back down. Now take your arms out to the side and bend your elbows. Just breathe. Take a moment to adjust. And now just moving through the shoulder joint, taking the hands to come forward and back. Hit the back of the shoulder blades on the mat and try not to have your ribs poke upwards. Taking one arm now behind, the other one down to the hip. We're going to swap them over with a circular motion and bring them back over the chest. The arm that comes up from behind, take it back behind as you then repeat the move, working through the shoulder blades in the many varying angles that they work, but also making sure you get mobility through your shoulder joint. This is very underrated and quite lovely on the shoulders. Enjoy this one. And now we're going to sit up. Take your arms out straight to a T. And we're going to then rotate through the shoulders to rotate the palm up, palm down. Turning the head to the palm that goes up will challenge your coordination and adds a little bit of fun as you get some movement through the shoulder joint again. Many varying ways that you can move the humerus or the bone between the shoulder and the elbow in the shoulder joint itself. You can exaggerate it, make it bigger, or keep it within a range you feel comfortable with as well. And now let's come onto the floor, onto your tummy. Lying down, pay special attention as we take one arm out straight and the other arm bent out to the side. Whatever arm is bent, that same leg you're going to bend at the knee and rotate it behind you, using the same bent arm to support you as you take that leg behind. And what you will feel is a stretch on the opposite shoulder on the straight arm. So again, take the leg behind, use the hand for support on the bent arm, and then challenge the direction of the arm, the straight arm. As you practice this, you can have it straight in line with the shoulder, or you can take your hand a little higher than the shoulder on the straight arm, and that will feel different as well. You'll probably feel a more intense stretch when your arm is more on an angle above the shoulder. Change sides. Here you have a nice little hip opening as well as a bit of spinal rotation, which is an added bonus. And then come on up. From here we're going to stretch your shoulders. You can do this standing, you do not have to do this sitting. And take the hands behind your back, lacing the fingers so the palms face the ceiling. And then lifting them up to the point where you feel a stretch through the front of your shoulders, through your arms. And give it some time and space. One of my favourites, there is something feel good about this stretch that I really love, and I hope you do too. From here, we're going to release and take the hands behind our head, bending at the elbow, and we're going to look up and use our hands to support ourselves, but more importantly, as you widen the elbows, you're going to open up through the front of the chest and the shoulders. I hope you enjoyed that today. Have a lovely day.